This is Tom from 2 Cave Aquatics. This is part 2 of a video I'm making answering a few questions I had in the comment section, and that was regarding the red plants, how I'm getting them to grow in here, sponge filters, why I have different colored shrimp in here, and a few other things. So, and my battery died, so I'm making the second video here. I just put these little shrimp lolly sticks in here, and right before I started this video, and they're already covered with shrimp. Shrimp are coming from every direction all over them. I only had 2 left, so I put the second one in. I just ordered some new ones, so they'll be here in a day or two. But the shrimp are just coming from everywhere, and feeding on them. They'll have these things stripped down to this wooden stick here before the night's over. See the blue shrimp, red shrimp, little snowball shrimp, some yellow shrimp that I just added here recently, some yellow purebred Neocaridina shrimp. But yeah, the shrimp are coming from every direction still, all over these 2 lolly sticks. They just love them. Some of these shrimp are clear, see-through mostly. But I've had lots and lots of baby shrimp born in here. And then another thing about the Tidal 110 filter I have, hang on back filter in the back. I have a lot of options with that. I like that. I can use this Fluval Biomax, these little cylinders in mesh bags. I have nylon, these little mesh bags that I can fill that up with. I have the option for ammonia control to use zeolite. And that pulls ammonia and stuff out of the water. Use that in a little mesh bag and put that in the filter as well. Sometimes I can use and cut the size these sponge filters here. Some of them are help to control phosphate. I have some that can help control nitrates. This is by Aquarium Masters. They also make one cut to fit for an ammonia reducer. These are infused media pads. I can cut those to fit inside my 110 filter. I also have, I buy in bulk sheets, 50 micron filter pads, extra fine micron filter pads that I can cut the size and use in my 110 filter. And I use polyfill filter floss. Right now I'm using a coarse sponge in the bottom. I have a lot of polyfill packed in there, and I have an extra fine mesh bag that I ordered online, and I'm using Seachem Purigen in that bag, and I cut to fit a 50 micron piece of this filter. I just showed you this pad down here. I just showed you. So I have the coarse sponge in first, and the polyfill fiber, and that I can swap out every few days. It gets pretty nasty in a couple of days, and keep that fresh in there. When using polyfill, you just want to be careful about not using too much because it increases in volume. It swells up once the water gets in it, so you don't want to use too much. And then on top of that, I have a small bed mesh bag with sea chem purigen in it that can be used, I think, up to 10 times. You can recharge it. And then the 50 micron filter pad, and it keeps the water nice and clear, especially across from the living room. When you look at it, it's nice and crystal clear. I just fed the fish, so there's a little bit of stuff, flakes floating around here. I give them different foods. I have a flake food that's pure Alaskan salmon and seafood mix. And these shrimp are just all over these lolly sticks. Shrimp are a lot of fun, especially after water change, and some of them shed right after a water change, like these Amano shrimp, and they would just dart in every direction all over this aquarium for hours at a time. I'll have to film that the next time they do that. They get the other fish moving around. And what else? In my substrate, while I'm on that subject, I can use Fritzyme 7 live bacteria in this tank. When I first started it, I used Dr. Tim's One and Only, and I have, for the substrate, it's a natural aquarium cleaner. It's a sludge remover. It helps with the debris and sludge that can build up in the substrate. And then, because I have a couple of inches of organic soil in the bottom of this planted tank, and a couple inches of sand on top of that for a cap. Now, one last thing about the substrate. A deep substrate planted tanks, it can build up toxic gases in the substrate, hydrogen sulfide gases, methane gases, and they can build up to a toxic level if you're not dealing with those. And one way I found to deal with them is when these shrimp are done with these lolly sticks, and they're just bare wood, they're long or they're pointed, and I can just push it all the way to the bottom of the substrate, the bottom of the tank, real slow. They're narrow, a lot thinner than a chopstick, and then pull them straight out real slowly. It doesn't disrupt the substrate, and then bubbles will come up, and it releases and allows the toxic gases, any hydrogen sulfide gases, methane gases that build up in the substrate. It allows them to escape in the form of bubbles. They just go to the top of the tank and burst, and they're out of here. So I can poke all through in the sand, in the substrate, in the whole aquarium. Like once a month I do that, all around the back, and I'm not over planting in here, so I can do a lot of in between the plants. And as long as no bubbles are coming up, that's good. That's a good sign. But it will release those toxic gases that can build up in deep substrate tanks. So that's one pointer. Like I said, with the hang on the back filter of the Title 110, I modified the basket. So in my previous videos I show you where I drill some holes near the bottom of the basket on the sides, a series of like 3 rows of holes that gives a greater water intake flow through that filter, and I think greatly improves its performance. A couple other things. I'm getting ready to set up a 60-gallon tank, so I have the option of taking that big sponge filter in the corner. It's been there for a while, and putting that in there. Also have a mesh bag with some fluval biomax on in there, and in a couple of weeks that'll be full of live bacteria, beneficial bacteria that I can just move up to my 60-gallon tank and get it jump started. So thanks to my subscribers And thanks to my viewers. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask, and I'll get back to you. Like and subscribe to his videos. And everybody have a great night. And thank you to Tom from 2 Cave Aquatics. And have a good evening.